What is going on? Hope all is well. My name is Lou, and I'm currently on a journey of documenting my success. And I know you're probably curious on what success even looks like. And for me, that is really going to be maxing out my youth. So developing all of the skills while I'm young, making a lot of money, and actually being smart with it. But from there, also really being able to enjoy the day-to-day. And as I document, I'm going through different challenges, these different phases, really with building success. And when it came to this week, I'm sure the reason you actually clicked on this video, I have decided to quit social media. Now, it's not something I did indefinitely, but for the last 7 days, I have not opened up any short form, not once. And with that, before, I was so addicted and my dopamine receptors were so fried, to be blunt, that it made it near impossible to have any level of discipline or really achieve any levels of success. Because whenever one little thing will get hard, I'd resort to just opening my phone and getting some cheap dopamine. So within the last 7 days, I've noticed some drastic differences. Of course, still things are going on, but I wrote out some key points here, and I'm going to tell you what have been the biggest changes that I've seen in my personal life within the last week of not having any short form content or really cheap dopamine coming through. So for the first one, I've realized that I no longer rely on my phone. And I know it's like, yeah, it's kind of like pretty obvious and stuff, but even things that are so slight, like waiting for my train to come by, right? So I just traveled, came back from Orlando, and as I was waiting, it's so natural to be in the moment, even if you're waiting in the grocery store to go to the cashier or something like that, to just pick up your phone and just start doom scrolling like right through it. And it might seem harmless in the moment, but when you don't have that to actually rely on and look on, you start to become a lot more present in the moment. And with that presence that you actually have, gives you a lot of time to actually self-reflect. So funny enough, a huge symptom that has become of this has been idea generation. So I'll just be so much more consciously aware of everything going around me, and with that will come ideas. So I'll just think, like, hey, I noticed this guy talking about this specific thing. That could be like a good video idea. How could I like twist that and provide value with it? Or I just notice a small thing, a way people are acting, behavior stuff. So that's like one small takeaway I have there. And that really comes from also increasing, from not having the cheap dopamine here in my pocket. I've been able to increase really the amount of dopamine that I get from everything else. And I'm going to say this is going to be one of the biggest points that actually come with it. A lot of people, and I heard this recently from Chase Hughes. This guy is an absolute beast, master at conversations, influence psychology, super successful business. But a huge thing is that a lot of people rely on discipline. But if you think about it with any other key areas of your life, so for me, for example, I've always felt super disciplined with my fitness, right? But it's gotten to a point that when it comes to tracking my macros, going to the gym and stuff, it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to drag myself. I'm so disciplined for doing this every day. It just feels normal, like a normal part of the process. And with that, it's so easy to look at somebody who works super hard all day and, works 8 hours a day, locks in and build their business and stuff like this, and say they're so disciplined. But for them, it doesn't even feel like that. Right? For them, it's just a habit. It's just a normal part, just like how it is for me going to the gym, and just how it is for you, I'm sure, as well, with any other areas. Maybe it is fitness, maybe it's, school, maybe it's running, sports, whatever it looks like for you. And with that actually ties into the not having content, because it's so much easier to actually be disciplined and actually build these habits when your dopamine receptors are so low and so natural. You get the same amount of dopamine from working as you naturally would from just doom scrolling, which then hence makes it a lot easier to actually get work done rather than having to drag yourself through it. So that was a huge key point. But then again, It's only been a week as well. So of course with that, the changes have been drastic within the last week, and I will document the journey of continuing as more time passes. The goal will be for the month as well. But with that, of course, it's still so natural. So some, not necessarily cons, but some things that I'm still realizing that are happening to me is that I will subconsciously be doing a random activity and just naturally just try to open Instagram. So I could literally just be on a walk, I could be on the phone talking to my girlfriend or something like that, and subconsciously my body would do the actions to go ahead and open up Instagram. So that's a small thing, and it's really funny how you can actually see how you're subconsciously wired. Another huge thing that actually ties in with the dopamine as well. I found this so ridiculous when I learned it from Chase as well, is that you need to realize whenever you're having social media and opening these different things, I want you to think about a time. Have you opened up social media and saw super emotional short form or Instagram reel and like you shed a tear, you get super emotional? Because I know for sure that I have. And with that, it's so unique because I never realized it. This is the way that they hook you. They will hit you with a super happy video, you know, something you feel good, wires all your dopamine. Then after that, right away, you feel something super fucked up, you'll be surprised, and then they'll hit you with something that's super sad, and putting you on this really roller coaster of emotions going up and down makes you more malleable as a customer. It makes you easier to control, and after getting you to that emotional state, they'll go ahead and hit you with an advertisement. So I realized this happened to me the exact other day before I even quit. I just bought a shirt, and right before that, you know, I was in an emotional state. I saw like a emotional video, right? And I just found that ridiculous on how they actually profit and why they actually want you to be on this device for the most amount of time as possible, right? And then regardless, still another drawback that ties into it, of course, there's still always that little bit of procrastination. So funny enough, although it has improved, I could be working, for example, and just doing some deep work, getting it done, and I find it, instead of me, you know, doing what I naturally would in the past, would be like, okay, you know, kind of open my phone for a break, scroll and stuff like that, I'll find myself trying to do it with other sources. So you'll realize this as well if you choose to actually quit for some period of time. You'll start trying subconsciously to actually get the same amount of cheap dopamine from other sources, whether it is actually scrolling through your camera roll, scrolling through your photos. I found that being a huge thing, you know, constantly checking your notification, your messages, and I feel like that's just a part of the process, especially since it's just been a week. So I'm sure as the more time that passes, everything's only going to be that much more dialed in with actually getting good work done, but then of course enjoying life more in the process. So that has really been so far what the week looks like. And yeah, if you're watching this video, if you made it through the last 8 minutes and 22 seconds, I want to challenge you. And it's not going to be anything crazy. I feel like it's so easy to set these goals that, you know, there's so big commitments up front. But something that I've learned is that starting small compounds heavy. So with that, if you're watching this, I'll challenge you. You could download an app called Opal, not sponsored or anything like that, but it helps me a lot. It'll block your screen time, right? So that'll be the first piece. And the second thing on top of that, just for the rest of the day, I want you to go to your phone, open up color filters, and turn your phone on grayscale mode. So what that will do is actually put your phone in black and white mode, making it immensely so less engaging. So if you open up Instagram or something to scroll, it just won't hit the same, and you'll actually realize how much of your day it's actually eating up and how much it's actually taking for you. So first step, you could download an app to help block your screen time and just commit to one day, one full day without using social media or anything like that. Turn your phone on black and white mode and just realize how much you're actually leaning towards that in key moments of your day and what it's actually taking from you. And once you come to that realization and that awareness, that's really going to be the first step to actually destroying it. So we'll talk soon.